a bit of a different thing, for a different journey through PFP, as many of you know, not obviously everyone in the room, but those that have been the COPs and things like that would know. I started the journey at the beginning with a gentleman, which I'll show you shortly in a photo, who was Zulili from the Mani Primary School. And it went well, we met often, but things in his life changed quite dramatically, and he wasn't unable to be on a lot of the training with us and the COPs, and I was really doing the journey alone initially. And it was quite a lonely one, so I paired up with Nazli, and I think I paired up with probably every principal in the group. So I was very fortunate, and I got to see a lot of different sides of the different schools. So my first school was a primary school. Then I was moved over to having my partner, who's in Zimbabwe, Fina. Or Fina is the easiest way to for me to speak about him. And when I got Fina, he is a senior primary, is high school teacher. So I got to see the different side of the high schools and see their challenges. But where we are now finishing the year in July, we only got paired up in April. So we kind of were feeling like we were drowning and we were on the back foot and we had a lot of catch up to do. So that's what we tried to do in the course of the year, is to basically get to know everyone, try to get to know the school and try to play catch up. So we met a lot after we got to know each other, and we then started to try and play catch up. So to explain who he is, he's the gentleman right in the top left corner, and I will explain just now why he's not here, and it is for a good reason. So I'm very proud to be here tonight alone. In terms of the catch-ups, as I say, we have managed that fairly well. In fact, we were sitting meeting, deciding about tonight, this week. We've been on the phone quite a lot, and we've really had a lot of quality time together, so I think we have been fortunate. And you heard his pearls of wisdom, and as much of anybody that was in the room the day that we did the time to think, and we all realised, and I think my first partner in Zulile was probably the worst, we realised that none of us know how to and give the other person time to speak. And I remember us sitting at lunchtime that first day and we were all like, wow. So, we really enjoyed the training. I think everyone would agree with that one in particular. And I love the part where you learn about the fact that by listening, and the longer you listen, the person that's got the problem has actually got the solution. So with Zulile and I, we put it into practice quite a lot, and myself and Fina both use it, and I try to use it at the office. I know that as my husband sitting here, he probably thinks I don't use it enough. So yes, it is a work in progress, and I will keep trying. In terms of the learnings, one of the things that I really wanted to highlight that I felt was quite profound for me is that as much as we were quite shocked, the business people, when we looked at the schools and the conditions and how the department just thinks you must all just drop everything and you've got no lives and you've just got to run out to East London for the day and all of these good things. It was quite an eye-opener, but we still managed to find ways to communicate because we still have very much the same problems. So it was so easy to understand, for example, when I was often paired with Nazli, to understand what she was saying, because it may be a school and I might not be in a school, but we have very similar people issues. And I think often you forget that people are people and you do have the same type of problems. Flawless consulting was fantastic, I loved it. And the contracting and the resistance section, that was quite interesting to see the different forms of resistance, because I think we all just know the normal ones, and there were so many different ones, and it was good fun trying them all out. I quite enjoyed that. And the community building, the what if, the mind shift, to rather look at things, and I've always thought of myself as quite a positive person, but when I looked at the what if, and you look at your abundant gifts, and to say, oh, you know what, but there's actually more to the positive thinking, and I must just frame it slightly differently, so to change the sentence, and that I found really uplifting. And that course actually seemed to come at the right time in my life, because I was going through a lot of things just shortly after that, and it helped me to keep reframing and saying, okay, so what could I look at, what if this, what if that, and look, sometimes you still get into the panic attack and you go, okay, let me breathe and then try what if again. But it was great, so a fantastic learning. So all in all, a very, very profound learning session. I just wanted to put some group photos together because I was fortunate to have many of the principals actually as my partners at different meetings. My other partner is actually the gentleman right in the middle of the screen with a blue shirt, that was Zulu. So for those of you that didn't know him, so that was my first principal and then my second principal. So the work that we've done, what needed to happen at the school was their security wasn't great, and the fence had gone up. And through him getting the security of the school sorted, he was then able to say, okay, after the veggie garden thing, they're starting to revive their veggie garden because now they can keep it, that things aren't being stolen and things are being able to be looked after and kept properly. So that is definitely where they're busy reviving it at the moment and hoping to get some fundraising out of it to be able to sell it back to the kitchen that feeds the children, and then obviously not just to give everything so that they are getting back, and then to hopefully sell to the community. So that was one thing. And the other side of security was they really needed cameras. There was 1 or 2 incidences, because predominantly the teachers are ladies. I think there's only 1 or 2 gents on his team. And they would leave late in the afternoons and they just weren't feeling safe. And there were like funny little incidences, so he was very concerned. So they managed to get a camera system in when the funds eventually came from the department, and now they are feeling in a happy, safe space. In fact, they've had some newspaper articles recently, so the one just before the one that came out yesterday was one of the teachers that's actually now being brought up in one of the, I think it's a beauty pageant type thing, so that's quite exciting. And they're now feeling a lot safer at the office, so that's good. And then the fun run, fun walk. So as you know, even when I wasn't walking, my heart was always with the running. So I've managed to even get the passion at Vulumzi. So very, very exciting. You may have seen the article in the PE Express. They are having their first fun walk, fun run on the 20th. So I was going to bring you the entry forms, but unfortunately we're waiting for the printer to finish cutting them, so you didn't get them tonight, otherwise you'd all be there next week. But they're going to use it to go forward, and I think it's such a great story, and that's actually why he's not here this evening. So he's not here because he didn't want to be. He's not here because he's actually gone to talk to the local community to get the buy-in. There's huge excitement out of the meetings that he's already been to. There's one more this evening. I think there's another one, if not Saturday or Monday. So there's meetings that are coming up that the community gets to know about it. The community can buy into it and assist. And it's really exciting. So the whole thing is around healthy mind, healthy body, getting the children in. The entry fee is low, it's 20 Rand. And the Athletics South Africa, as well as the Eastern Province Athletics Association, are actually behind them. And they want to make it an annual event. So it's going to be something that you're going to see coming up every year, and hopefully the school will benefit from it because they're wanting to get their computer now. So the buy-in is fantastic. So that's what the entry form looks like. We're just waiting for them to come out the printers and be cut. And there's the article that was in the PE Express. And for those of you that are going to join us on the 20th, that is the route that we're going to be doing on the 20th to get kids in and everyone involved. So that's really what it's all about. So for us, that was our journey. I know that he was hoping to do his own words about how he's grown and developed through it. And he didn't want to put it on slides, he just wanted to talk off the cuff. But unfortunately, I don't have his cuff, so I can't say that. So thank you very much.